Here, just wanted to give you guys my final update on the Camaro Z28. This was the kit that I was working on. I had completed it to, I guess, satisfaction, but it's not near as what I want it to be. Had lots of trials and tribulations with this kit, being my first build. I know now some things I'm going to do on the next one. First, let me just show you the kit, and then I'll talk about some things that have gone wrong. This is the final build. See if I can get the engine in there a little bit. We'll talk about this back here in a minute. If I can take this hood off. All right. Lots of issues with the car. A couple things I'll point out. Number one, the reason I had the hood propped up is because I can't get the hood to go down over top of the cap. But it's okay, I'll display it with the hood up. No windshields in the front. I had some glue problems with the windshield. I had it sitting out here. I was going to show you. I had some glue issues with the windshield, as you can see. But you know what? This is just a learning process for me. This is my first build, so everything that I'm learning on this, I'm going to take into the future builds. There's no decals on this one. I decided not to put them on. I was kind of happy with the way it had supposed to go stripes down here and over the hood, but I kind of like the solid look. I didn't put any of the decals on that the kit was requiring. Towards the end of the kit, I started to sort of want to get on to the next one because I've learned a lot of things that I want to do in the future on some other builds. There are lots of extra parts. There were some small parts that I was having some difficulty getting together that I need to go back and look at some of the archives on working with some of these small engine parts on how to better glue them together. Also, I can't find, somehow I lost my red, my clear red parts that were supposed to go back here for the taillights. So I just didn't even bother putting them in. Like I said, this is just my first build. The bare metal foil is a mess, but I'm going to leave it like this. We're going to leave it as is. I'm going to put it on my shelf with the rest of the ones I'm going to start, and it'll be a testimony of hopefully where I can get to. The biggest issue with this car for me seemed to be building the engine. A lot of the things that I was working on weren't gluing together properly. I went back and looked at Dr. Cranky's videos on some of the glues and try to do better on the next engine. I'm going to put a little bit more focus on the next engine. Also, the kit doesn't totally, let's see if I can swing this around here. The kit doesn't totally sit level, so it does wobble a little bit on it. Trying to, got my iPad I'm here I'm working with, so sorry about the video quality. But you know, I had fun doing it. I learned a lot doing it. I was going by and looking at some videos as I was going along. Another hard thing that I had was putting the actual tires on. It seemed like whenever I wanted to put the tires on, it says not to glue them, but I couldn't get them to snap in or do anything when I was putting the actual tires on. So I ended up gluing them anyways. But the problem I was having is that a lot when I was working with this, a lot of the pieces underneath here, especially back here in the rear suspension, was coming off when I was putting the tires on. The paint job's okay. It's an Arctic blue metallic enamel. I haven't done anything with. I went out and got some of the Novus products. I haven't done anything with that with this yet. Not sure if I'm going to. just because I'm starting to get anxious to start on the next build. But the bare metal foil came out like a mess when I was putting the windshield in the front. Some of the bare metal foil there came off. So I need to go back and look at a lot of the archives, see what I can do better on some of the parts. The inside I did okay on the interior, I thought. Oops, see, there goes that piece right there. I did okay on some of the interior. I did want to two-tone it originally, but it didn't quite come out the way I did, so I just did it all flat black. But overall, there it is, the 69 Camaro. This will go on my shelf as a testimony to my first build, and I will compare my next build to this one, and we'll see how it goes. Lots of extra parts when I was done, so actually I can use those for some other builds if I really wanted to. But bare metal foil was difficult, and the engine was difficult for me. Those are two things that I need to work on. And just gluing small parts together seems to be my nemesis right now. And that's why some of these parts that I had left over, I didn't even bother trying to put them in just because, number one, I didn't know if they were going to be seen. And number two, they were just so hard to work with. But practice hopefully will make perfect. But there she is, a 69 Camaro. And now it's on to the next build. I'll put an update out there of a kit review of what I'm going to do next. Thanks, guys.